What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode today of the My Player Career Mode. This one is episode 98, and we're going to be doing things a little bit differently to normal. We've done it this way before, but we're going to be playing two games at the start of the episode as post-com, and then we'll have the FA Cup final for you all to enjoy live later on. So yeah, get ready for these games coming up. So, the way it's going to pan out, we simmed the first game against Brighton to avoid any potential injury towards Ben. We don't want an injury at this point in the season. And as Man United have already wrapped up the Premier League title, it didn't seem, necessary to play against Brighton and then 4 days later have to play this massive game against PSG. So, yeah, decided against that. And the sim, it ended up being a 5-1 victory for Manchester United in the Premier League. Of course, results not mattering to them at this point. They can't go unbeaten, and they'd already mathematically secured the title itself. So, first massive game of the episode over at the Parc des Princes. The first game between the two giants ended up 1-1 at Old Trafford. PSG scoring the away goal, which means Manchester United have to score here in France or they are out of the Champions League for the second season running. But I feel like on paper, Man United are probably one of the favourites. The side they've got is so well-rounded, and if you look at the teams left in it, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, PSG, and Manchester United, it's going to be really tough no matter what. But I feel like Man United, if they can get through this game here, then they'll have a really good chance at the final itself, where they'll either meet Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid, one of the Madrid clubs. So let's see what happened when the two giants went head-to-head for the second time in as many weeks. PSG started the game off the brighter, right on the stroke of half-time. Marco Verratti doing very well from a corner. Him and Draxler between them, keep the ball close. Draxler turns inside of Ben, curls an effort goalwards. Gotta say, massively disappointed in David De Gea. I'm not going to blame Ben for this because although you can say that Draxler is his man, I think he did enough in order to put him off without fouling him in the box. But then you have to question, why is De Gea diving so far away from his line in order to try and make that save? So in the end, PSG took the lead. It doesn't matter though, because if Man United score at least one more goal, it'll take this to extra time. And I thought they got it when Ben got through, but the goalkeeper came out very quickly to make a good stop and stop Man United finding that equaliser. And as time was running out, I felt like it was going to be, repeat of last season. But then, Ben in the box, his shot is deflected to Romelu Lukaku, who spins with that right foot. And this time around, it goes golden for Man United, who equalised the game and equalised the tie. If it stays as it is after 90 minutes now, it's going to extra time in this one. Lukaku's goal was important. I said he didn't have a great season last year, but this season he certainly stepped up when we needed him to. And that's a massive goal as well in trying to get themselves in this one. Ben does quite well in keeping the close control, but then the luck just had to come from Man United, and it did. And Lukaku managed to finish it off as well. You can say the PSG keeper should have done a little bit better, but in his defence, he was stepping over to that other side, and that's possibly why it's been beaten. But nevertheless, take nothing away from Man United. They dug deep to find the equaliser, and that's exactly what they got. So, will it go to extra time, or will we see a potential winner within the 90 minutes? And I can say there was a chance within 90 minutes for someone to take the victory, and it was Man United. The ball finding its way out wide to the left mid spot. Eventually, the shot is saved, but it falls its way back in towards the middle where Ben is completely unmarked, tries to find the top corner. He didn't get his shot right. The PSG keeper made the save, but I've got to say, all things considered, Ben should have scored. I have to say that, We know he's got quality. When he's in that position unmarked completely, he should score. He went into extra time and there was only one opportunity right in the dying minutes. Hendricks getting through for PSG, but he couldn't keep his shot on target. It goes wide of the post. And after 120 minutes here and 90 minutes at Old Trafford, it would have to be settled by penalties. PSG up first to take their first spot kick. The number 8 goes up, tries to dink David De Gea, and instead makes himself look an absolute fool by kicking it over the top of the crossbar. Havertz steps up for us, and in the end, his spot kick goes into the back of the net. Not quite sure why the PSG keeper didn't try and move for that one. It was quite close to him, but hey, you'll take everything you get. Torres next up for PSG. He does well with his spot kick scoring. Very nice penalty indeed, as David De Gea guessed the wrong way. Marcus Rojo, the next man to step up for Man United. Very weird order of penalties, but nevertheless, the Argentinian scores his spot kick, so we can't say anything about that one. Hendricks had the chance in the 120th minute to score. He steps up and does exactly what the PSG first taker did in order to send his effort over the top of the crossbar as well. Next up, it's Jota. Solid penalty. Can't really say too much more than that. And the deciding penalty falls the way of PSG. If they miss, Man United go through to that final, and it was Draxler who scored in normal time. Could he score from the spot for the French Giants? And score he did. The German confidently steps up and goes down the middle, which meant the deciding penalty then fell to Lukaku. 2 deciding penalties. Which one was going to matter? Lukaku steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way, and sends Manchester United through to the Champions League final. The second time that Ben's been here. Remember, guys, DJ Wood last year in FIFA 17, we got to 2 finals, winning one of them with Real Madrid and losing the other one with Real Madrid when we were at Juve. So, yeah, this time around, Ben has an opportunity in his second final. He's already won one with Real Madrid to sink Real Madrid. You know, Juve. He's not at Juve, he's at Man United this time. It's going to be Real Madrid in that final. I can confirm that. After the game against Atletico Madrid, they won 1-0 in the last one. They lost 1-0 in this one, which took it to penalties. And Real Madrid came out on top after the shootout. So both semi-finals having to be decided on PKs. That's interesting enough indeed. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that final. The club that Ben left in order to join Manchester United in Real Madrid will meet Manchester United for the Champions League trophy. That's how the Europa League looks as well, but there you go. 5-4 on penalties to Real, 4-2 on penalties to Man United, and they will meet in the final come the last game of the season. That one will be in the next episode for you all to enjoy as its own individual episode, and then after that, of course, it's episode 100, and we'll probably have a live stream maybe at Ben's new club, who knows. But final game I'm going to be doing before we move into that FA Cup final live for you. It's the final game of the season up against Newcastle. It's just something to give the Man United fans something to shout about, of course. And I have to say as well, it's just a nice way to end it. You know, they've gone through the season. Ben hasn't played a few Premier League games now, doesn't want to risk injury, so decided that Mourinho was going to risk him for this one. There was 7 days between this and the FA Cup final, so there's enough time to recover. And hopefully there won't be an injury risk. So he doesn't play the full 90 minutes here. He does get taken off, but he does feature at least. So you will be able to see him play potentially one last game for Man United in the Premier League before he moves clubs here. But that's how the table looks. City and Liverpool in 9th and 10th at the moment. It's ridiculous to see them that low down. It really, really is. Nevertheless, as the game got underway, feeling pretty confident. But most importantly, the only thing we're all looking forward to now is that FA Cup final and then the Champions League final. Nobody's bothered about this final game in the Premier League that has no implication on Man United whatsoever. But to be fair to Mourinho, he named a strong team. I was very surprised to see some of the names that were in the side for this one. All things considered, they don't need to risk anybody, to be fair. But they decided to just, I guess, give the Man United fans something to shout about. And something to shout about indeed, because 17 minutes into it, they took the lead. Ben tries to cross it, ball bounces back to him. Eventually it's a nice save by the keeper, but then this from Jota is just sensational. How on earth he managed to squeeze that into the back of the net at the angle he was in, I have no idea, but massive credit to him for it because it was a phenomenal strike from Jota. As I said, no idea how he managed to squeeze that past the keeper, considering the fact he was at a ridiculous angle, but he did manage it, and Man United took the lead inside 18 minutes. A little bit of luck involved, but it's the way it goes sometimes. As I say all the time, you create your own luck when you're playing well. I genuinely don't know how on earth he managed to steer that in there. Maybe you could say the keeper should have saved it. Cruel diving, doesn't get anywhere near it. And that's the reason why Man United take the lead. But it made 2-0 very shortly after when Ben on the ball looking for that last goal in the Premier League before he might leave clubs. Eventually he gets inside here. Lovely little bit of skill to stop the ball dead off the defender. Cuts inside of him, curls it towards the top corner. Cruel can't get near it again. It's Man United 2, Newcastle 0. Another kind of disappointing, I'd say, goalkeeping performance in many ways, but there was only really 2 chances. And the first one, just Silva, Jota did everything right in order to do it. And this one as well, you can't really say too much about it other than the fact the defender's got to get closer. There was a couple of bodies in front of him as well. But why are the keepers diving so far away from the line? Why are they always like jumping out of the goal rather than to the side? You know what I mean? It's strange because we had it in the last game, when De Gea did it against Draxler's effort. I just don't understand it. But nevertheless, that's the way the Premier League season will end. A 2-0 victory to finish it off. 3 points as well. It's his 17th goal of the campaign, Ben. And it is the goal that will take him over the line to get the golden boot of this season. Very happy with that indeed. And as you can see, Spurs, Man United, FA Cup final to come right now. Then we move forward into that Champions League final. Honestly, it's 2 massive games to come. Will they get the treble? Will they get the quadruple? What's going to happen, guys? If you have any predictions for the Champions League final, let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, guys, you can see the league table there. Leeds escaping the drop as well. Happy to see that happen. Man United on top. Man City 9th. Liverpool 10th. in terms of any surprising results. Watford coming in second place, massive credit to them. They had a great season this year, and they'll be playing Champions League football next season no matter what happens. So massive, massive credit to them for that. And I want to say as well, as you can see right now, the top scorers, Wood getting it. Harry Kane got 14 for the season, which is interesting, but not quite as much as I was expecting. Lamar for Arsenal got 14 as well. In terms of Man United, they didn't have anybody else inside the top 15 for the Premier League. They had Lukaku, Ben and Jota in the top assist makers, though. As you can see there, Ben missing out by 2. Top clean sheets went to David De Gea, and we're not really surprised about that at all. So, yeah, fair enough. Ben, though, he was in the highest yellow card. He picked up 5, which put him in 14th place. And as we took a look at some of the news articles, you can see Ben got Player of the Year, or Player of the Competition for the Premier League. He wasn't in the Team of the Year, though, for the Premier League, Team of the Season, which is interesting. But he did get, of course, the Golden Boot as well. Nevertheless, guys, that is how we end the post-con portion of today's episode. Nearly said live there. I'm going to be coming back in literally moments, seconds, for the live portion of the episode. But if you want to pause the video here, grab yourself a snack and a drink and come back. Get ready for this FA Cup final against Spurs. It's going to be a good one, guys. And I will see you all in just a moment's time. Alright then, guys, we are here and ready to go into the FA Cup final. It's the live portion of the episode. And now, of course, if you watched the earlier bit of the episode today, you'll know that Ben will meet Real Madrid in that Champions League final to come next episode. I'm probably going to make that episode 99 and then episode 100 a live stream at whatever club that Ben moves to, if that is the case. So let's get into this FA Cup final against Spurs. This is the 3rd trophy on offer. 2 of them already won in the form of the Premier League. And then, of course, the Carabao Cup. Now, it was interesting because I kind of didn't know when they were going to lift the trophy, but for some reason, I didn't actually get to see it happen, Man United and Ben. It was weird to say, but nevertheless, it's 2 out of 2 done. I'm not going to worry about the fact that we didn't get to see him lift it. All I'm going to be worried about now is getting these final 2 secured. So the first one in the FA Cup at Wembley against Spurs, and the second one in the Champions League final against Real Madrid. That's the side that Man United have going into this one. We'll, of course, check out Spurs' when we get into the game. But without further ado, let's do this. And here we go. That's how the 2 teams got to this final. Spurs beating Palace, Watford, and MK Dons on the way. Man United with a slightly tougher run, but it doesn't matter how you get here. It's that you win it once you are finally here. The Spurs team, of course, formerly that Ben used to play for, and it's going to be interesting. I'm wondering what kind of players they've still got. They've still, of course, got Eriksen. I know that. He's had another good season as Christian Eriksen. He's the captain for them today. Still Harry Kane as well, so there's still some, solid players from when Ben was there. But they've got a few new additions as well, so we'll see how it's going to pair and fan out today. But, yeah, nevertheless, that is the Man United team. You already saw it a moment ago. Probably their strongest lineup. They've got Gnabry on the bench, Kai Havertz on the bench, which is weird when you consider the fact that between those 2 guys, they've spent over £100 million on the both of them. So, to have them on the bench, it's quite ridiculous, really. But we're not going to complain about it. It's still a very strong squad from Manchester United, and it's still a squad that should get them this FA Cup trophy, as you can see on the screen there. I genuinely can't wait to see if Ben's going to do this. Yeah, I'm intrigued. It's going to be really, really interesting. But for Spurs, they have that side. Sobi in the team. I'm going to be honest, not as strong as I was expecting it to be. Lemos and Wanyama in the centre midfields. Lemos is actually a centre-back by trade, not a centre defensive midfielder. If I was going to do that, I would have pushed Eric Dyer further up, and probably put Lemos, at the centre-back role, possibly. That's the way they've done that. But they haven't done it. That's the way they've gone with it. So let's get into this game and watch Ben lift the 3rd trophy of this season, get the treble, and then next episode, it's all about the Champions League final against Real Madrid to secure that quad. Let's do it. And after the opening 25 or so minutes, nothing has happened. This might be the first chance, though. Lukaku finding Ben. Ben in! And Leno saves it. Good save from the keeper. And I think that's come off Martins. Why is he keeping that in? I don't know. It has. So it's not going to be a corner ball to Man United because for some reason, Gelson Martins felt the need to take the touch there and take it out of play. Not sure why. But the first chance has fallen Man United's way and it fell to Ben, who couldn't steer it past Leno, the keeper. And it means that it's still 0-0 here. But nevertheless, Man United with the first opportunity of the game. And I'm sure that won't be the last. And at half-time, there's been that one and only chance so far, which Ben ended up hitting straight at Ben Leno. So, in terms of our first half, very, very boring, as you can see there. Not much going on for either side. One shot apiece. Man United with the one on target from Ben, and that's literally the only one that we've seen in the game today. But I'm hoping the second half will pick up. Normally when we play games against Spurs, it's quite close anyways. So yeah, I'm not too surprised to see it like this. Where's Wanyama going? I don't actually know. Ben might get a little bit of space here. No, never mind. Couldn't weave the space enough. But yeah, hoping for a much better and much more entertaining second half, let's call it. Good work from Lukaku to find Ben. Trying to work some space to try and find the pass back through. Instead, lays it out wide to the fullback. Here is the fullback looking for a better delivery than he played earlier on. Another cross in, and it's, again, straight to Leno. Zielinski, Ben, Martial. Good work from Man United to create the opportunity. Martial, give it towards Lukaku. Lukaku's shot. Leno again is there. And Spurs, at the moment, haven't created, and they're getting attacks against them. Without Leno, they might have been 2-0 down. Another good stop from the German, and it's still 0-0 here, but another good chance from Man United wasted for them. Can Spurs actually create anything? That's going to be the question mark now. As Zamela gives it to Eriksen. Eriksen, who's so dangerous in these type of areas. His strike is well blocked, though, and it will be cleared away. I cannot believe that that's the second time now that Man United have a chance, and it seems hit straight at Leno. Oh, great work. Ben's in. He's trying to go around Leno. He's got round him, and he's just about squeezed it home. Man United take the lead 65 minutes into this one. It wasn't clean. It wasn't great, but it's found its way in. I have to say as well, good work from Ben. Honestly, though, when he took the extra touch, the little bit too much, he took it out wide. I felt a little bit like it was maybe going to miss. Leno's sprawling dive back across. And I tell you what, that couldn't have been any closer. Goes through the legs of Leno into the side netting. And Ben has just given Manchester United the lead in this final against his former club. In a final that has been not that great and entertaining if you're a neutral. But my word, what a way to get the goal of the game so far. It was good work from Man United to set it up in the first place. Lukaku wins the header to Martial. Martial back to him. Then Lukaku through for the on-running Ben. But tell you what, that was so lucky that Leno had opened his legs ever so slightly to allow that ball to go through. Otherwise, that was going to be a save from the German, and another one as well to add to his collection. Here is Ben. Martial makes him the run. And immediately after they've taken the lead, they look like they might be adding a second here. Lukaku's attempted cross deflected out for a corner. 20 minutes away from their treble, and Tottenham have had nothing to say about it so far. Here is Alaba. Inside the Spurs area, gives it backwards. Here is Havertz. Havertz, give it out to Ben. Ben, a little bit of space. He sees the little pass inside to Varane. And again, Leno is there. The German's having a great game, I tell you that for sure. And he should have made the save moments ago from Ben, but he didn't. But that's another good stop from the German. A attempted corner in. Cleared away by Spurs. That should now, hopefully, be Man United back on the ball. It is, as Ben now comes away with this one. Not an ideal pass. Don't know where he's going with that one, but United in control. Flick on from Ben. Here he is again. The touch let him down, but he's still about to squeeze it through to Lukaku, and Leno's there again from Tottenham to make the stop. It's been all Man United this game, to be fair. Ben's corner in, going to get cleared away, but they've got 2 minutes now for Spurs to try and conjure up something. Harry Kane has to go backwards, and that's it. Man United win their treble. They've got 3 out of 3 so far, and they have the Champions League to play for next episode. Ben's goal in this one makes the difference. He was so close to saving it though, Leno, who had an unbelievable game all game long. But Spurs, they never got going forward. And we knew the game was going to be close. We knew it would be a low scoreline. But luckily, it's Ben who scored it to make his team have this win here. FA Cup trophy, Carabao Cup, Premier League secured. 3 out of 3 so far. Just need that 4th one next episode out. We'll watch the boys lift it. And yeah, it's going to be really, really nice to see. Again, they've done what they had to do. Wasn't pretty, but they got the result overall. Is it going to be Pogba, the man to lift this? I think it might be. But yeah, there's Ben. There's a few of the other boys who've been instrumental. Varane's had a good season as well. Lukaku's been a lot better this year than he was last season. But Pogba will be the man to lift it for Man United as they get themselves the FA Cup to get the treble. Even if they lose the Champions League next episode to Real Madrid, it will still be a massively successful season. Domestic treble, looking for that quad next episode out, which will be its own individual episode in terms of the game. Of course, Real Madrid are the side that they'll play against. But there you go. Man United, FA Cup winners. And that is how we will end today's episode off. As I said, Leno with a great performance overall, but ultimately not quite enough in order to stop Manchester United. But there is the confirmation. Spurs 0, Man United 1. Ben has beaten his former club and they get the FA Cup. And as you can see right there, tables, the Champions Cup is up next for them. Who will come out on top? If you want to leave a comment thinking what's going to happen, if you want to try and predict it, predict the scoreline if you wish. Real Madrid, Manchester United, who will be the winner of the Champions League. Of course, Ben, the only side he's won the Champions League with was Real Madrid. So it's going to be interesting. Whereas I think DJ Wood had 2 finals. He won one, lost one. With Real Madrid, he won it. And Juve, he lost it to Real Madrid. So we've been in this situation before in last years. This time around, it's Ben. And it's not Juventus this time. It's Man United. But DJ Wood lost it with Juve to Real Madrid. Is Ben going to do again and lose it with Man United to Real Madrid? Let's find out next episode. But if you did enjoy this one, guys, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate it as well. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that button below. Also, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And I will catch you all with that next episode and the Champions League final very, very soon, guys. Catch you all then. Adios.